Last night was, I thought, from a pitching standpoint, LSU did just about everything that they could to win the game. The part that let them down, and look, we'll get to the umpire and we'll get to the calls and how that affected the game. But it was LSU's offense, to me, that on this stage really, it cost them. And I know that this is a very big stage, and I know that Wake Forest is a really solid team that came in with a deep pitching staff, one that was very well respected nationally, and Hartle threw a really good game too at 6 innings, only gave up 4 hits. He did his job, struck out 9. LSU just was having a tough time figuring out the pitching for Wake Forest. On the other side, I thought Ty Floyd, we set the over-under yesterday at 5 innings. He went a solid 5 innings, gave up 2 hits, struck out 10 yesterday. And, saying the first 5 innings of the game, LSU and Floyd looked like they were in control. And then the 6th inning came, and that's when the game totally changed. When LSU walked 3 and loaded the bases on a strike zone that just evaporated. Like it totally went away. And yesterday I was busting chops on Tennessee for making excuses on losing to Skeens. So I'm not trying 24 hours later to come in here and make excuses. LSU's offense let them down yesterday. They had opportunities to drive in runs. They had opportunities to make things happen, and they didn't do it. The fact of the matter is that you can be a star for as long as you want at LSU. When it gets to the postseason, that's when you earn your star status. And for guys that have been here for a while and guys that have, gotten a lot of accolades and a lot of trophies, and deservedly so, when it comes to this time of the year, this is where you got to earn your check. And, for guys like Dylan Cruz, most notably, last night, going 0 for 3 and striking out twice and looking like he was guessing at times. I'm not here to bang on Cruz. He's going to be, the first or second pick in the draft and has been outstanding for LSU. But if LSU can't, do something monumental over the next couple of days, this will haunt Dylan Cruz for his time at LSU. Because to get to this, to where they are, and for the stars not to be the stars, this is where the dudes got to be the dudes. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a headline guy, you got to be a front page guy. You got to be a marquee guy in Omaha. And that's just what comes with that territory. I don't think that this is anything that, those types of players don't understand. That, when things are going good, you're going to get a lot of credit. But when things are going, not up to standard and you're not performing, there's a certain pressure and blowback that comes with that. And for LSU not to get the production from its stars like they really need. I mean, Dylan Cruz 0 for 3 last night. Tommy White 1 for 4 last night. Gavin Dugas 0 for 2 last night. Jordan Thompson 0 for 4 last night. I mean, that's just, that ain't going to work.
But some blame's on the umpire, right?
Sure.
Like in the strike zone, because he knew where it was.
I mean, we'll get to the umpire, but I'm not going to get here and say that they lost because of the umpire.
No.
Right? They had their opportunities, and first things first, if you're going to be a star, this is where you earn your star status. Right? I mean, it's one thing to be a star in the regular season and play at a high level during that time. But when it's time to earn the money, it's time to earn the money. And LSU last night had multiple opportunities that they let get away. Look, Wake Forest made the play in the 8th. LSU had that same opportunity in the 8th and couldn't. Trey Morgan came up, lead off double, get on, can't move him around. And, look, man, the umpire.
That guy.
I just.
I'm scared for his life.
I don't. Well, he's going to be fine. I mean.
Is he?
If nothing happened to the officiating, the officials at the NFC Championship game in New Orleans, when Bobby Hebert was pleading with the New Orleans airport to lock the gates, like, seriously, like, he was like, don't let them out of town. And they got out. This college baseball umpire will be out. But, I mean, whatever happened in between the 5th and 6th inning it changed the whole game. I mean, there's a track man that is watching these pitches. And, again, I don't want to come off like we're making excuses, but a couple of those calls in the 6th inning totally changed the entire complexion of the game.
Why does that happen? How can it change like that just suddenly between innings?
It's the human element. I mean, that's the part of sports that people want to preserve. I mean, that's the part of sports that's widely debated on should you have – I mean, why can't that track man just call balls and strikes?
Yeah.
I mean, if it has the strike zone to, the perfect coordinates and understands what it is, if the ball's in that area, why is it debated on whether it's a ball or a strike? Well, because it's a human being back there. And it's, it's up to his judgment. It's up to the – to the beholder. I mean, whatever he thinks, he's going to call. And for 5 innings, it was pretty clear what a strike and a ball was. And then in the 6th inning, it totally flipped. Like, I mean, everybody was recognizing it. I mean, I was listening to Doug and Chris Blair and Bill Franquez. I had those guys on. I was watching it on television. I mean, Doug was like, "This is hard to watch." I mean, you could hear the ooze in the crowd. I mean, it was like, man, what are you looking at? I mean, there's one shot of LSU baseball's dugout where it's Wes Johnson, Jay Johnson, and a couple of staffers, and they're just like,
their mouths are open.
I mean, they're just all like, nobody's even blinking. I mean, they're just like, what are you doing? Like, I mean, this is the national quarterfinal, man. Like this is the biggest stage of the sport, and you got this clown down there, like, that just loses sight of what the strike zone is. And look, it was on both sides.
Yeah, it was on both sides.
I'm not complaining, and saying that's why LSU lost the game. But you go to that 6th inning. They get 2 runs off of walking the bases loaded on a strike zone that's just totally gone. I mean, look at the numbers. I mean, look at the pitches.
So does he see that? Does the umpire see that?
No,
ever?
He didn't see that.
But after,
I'm sure.
I mean,
can you go back and
if
look at
you
it?
can't see from standing right behind the plate,
yes.
I don't know where else I don't know what other seat in the stadium you want to call balls and strikes,
right.
But behind the plate, seeing it.
Well, yeah, the
come
slow
right
motion
at
of
you.
him watching it was amazing, and then still letting it be a ball. I mean, it was like, are you kidding?
Like, that was a ball. All right, cool. Let's go to the next pitch. And Ty Floyd just up there, like, he was like kind of trying to like laugh it off almost, like.
Well, I mean, you could see him mouthing to him. He was like, that's a strike.
Yeah.
And it's been a strike all night. I mean, he's like, what's going on?
Where you want me to throw
I don't want to look. I don't want to come off like we're blaming the umpires. The umpire was bad on both sides, and it affected the game on both sides. LSU had great opportunities at the plate that they didn't come through on, and I got to be honest. I thought that was a base running blunder with Morgan. I mean, like, I don't know the exact science of baseball. I don't. And I could tell when Morgan, he was kind of caught in no man's land, where he's off the bag and the ball is hit directly at the third baseman on the bag. So it really kind of takes the play of getting back to third off the table, right? I mean, like if he tries to dive back at the bag, I mean, it's a simple kind of like sweep tag and he's out, I would think. But in the post game, Morgan said they had what they call either that it was like a red or a hot call or something, a red call. So which means that they're running on contact. And if you go back to the situation, there's no out. You've got somebody. You got a runner on.
Yeah, runners at the corners.
They had runners at first and third. No out. The ball's hit at the third baseman, which I would imagine if you're moving on contact, the odds say that's probably what you want to make the play at home. That's an easy kind of throw. Now, he's off balance, and Morgan sees that. And as Morgan is explaining it, he's trying to kind of get in the way of the throw to make it a tough play at the plate, right? I mean, you got to make the guy make the play. I mean, that's what ultimately LSU is saying. Like, we're going to put the pressure on the defense and make him make the play. And again, look, man, I don't know. I'm not here acting like I know a lot of baseball. I don't know if that's right or wrong that you run in that situation. It just seems like you're first and third with no out. That's going to be a nearly impossible play for the third baseman to make to first base. If he makes it to second base, it's number one on SportsCenter's top 10 plays. If Morgan's just on the bag, your bases loaded, no out with, the heart of your lineup coming up here and an opportunity to make a run. Now, the way it works out where the Wake Forest third baseman makes a fantastic play to keep the ball alive, flip his hips, and make the throw to two-lane transfer Bennett Lee behind the plate, who Lee picks it like a first baseman.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, that was the play of the night, the play that he made with the glove. Now, it's debated on whether he's safe or out. I thought Kyle Peterson and Eduardo Perez are looking at it in the replay booth, and both of them in real time when they got the overhead shot said he's safe.
Well, when you look at it from that overhead or from front on, it does look like he's safe for sure. And
I never see an angle that people are saying, did he or did he not swipe the leg? It's up for debate, but I don't see one that says, oh, yeah, he definitely did. Now, by the letter of the law, they called him out on the field. So when you go to the review, you've got to have enough evidence to overturn it. Right? You have to say, like, bam, there it is. He missed it. I do agree that it's still up for debate.
Yeah,
I mean, it's still like kind of like there's no defining piece that you're like, there it is. I mean, there's the smoking gun. He missed him or he tagged him, so overturn it. If the call on the field was that he was safe, I think that the call would have stayed that he was safe. The call on the field was that he was out, and the call on the field stayed that he was out. Again, I'm fine with it. I would go back to the situation and just ask, for all the people in here that that know baseball, in that situation, are you supposed to be running? Like, are you supposed to, like, as soon as the ball's hit, no matter where it is, run? Because, I mean, for as good as the play was that the third baseman made, when he caught it, I thought Morgan's dead. Like, when he made the play, like when he caught the ball, I kind of thought to myself, oh, shit, he's in no man. He's out. He's going to be out.
The third baseman caught the ball?
Yeah. I mean, like, I thought that, like, he's going to make this play.
Yeah.
Now, the catcher made the play.
Yeah,
really.
he did.
I mean,
can we look at it?
The throw was a little off, and I mean, really, I mean, he picked that thing with a catcher's mitt, and I mean, it was a bang bang tag, but they called him out on the field.
I feel like he hit his knee. Like, that's what I saw. Is it?
Sure. I mean, like, it's up for debate. I mean, I was with Kyle Peterson and Perez. I thought when you saw the overhead angle, I was like, oh, wow, he's safe.
Yeah.
And Peterson's like, oh, he's safe. And Perez is like, he is safe. And you're like, okay. But then they're like, you get into it and you're like, maybe not. You know, I mean, look, I'm all about make the other team make the play. You know what I mean? Like, in coaching, I'm always like, put the pressure on the other team. Put the pressure on the umpire. Make him make the call. You know what I mean? Like, you just stay aggressive, right? So I'm fine if the circumstance says, and look, if Jay Johnson calls run on contact, that guy is, you know, I mean, he's a baseball savant. He's a genius when it comes to the game. I mean, like, I guess it is the right situation. But you think back and, man, you'd love bases loaded with, who would that be up? Travinsky or Beloso? You know what I mean? So
Beloso is the one who hit that.